Fasting for how long kills cancer cells in the body? Okay, so this is not very well understood. We know that there is a correlation between cancer and sugar, which is glucose. So when you eat sugar, let's say you eat a candy, or you eat honey, or you eat a chocolate, or you eat a sweet dessert, that is going to be broken down in your stomach into glycogen, into glucose. Okay, glucose essentially. The glucose will enter your bloodstream, and then there's the insulin thing and all that. I'll not go into the insulin part, but the glucose is a very fast burning, very readily accessible fuel for the cells of the body. So the cells of our body, they can use two kinds of fuel. One is uh, glucose, and the other is fat. So let's say you are chubby fat, you've got plenty of body fat, then if you don't eat sugar for, let's say, 4 days, 5 days, then the body will run out of the sugar reserves, glycogen reserves, and then it will have to move to start burning fat. And that is a process called ketosis. And ketone bodies are created out of the breakdown of lipid cells in your body, and that is what serves as the fuel source for your cells. So glucose, it is a very explosive. Athletes need glucose for those explosive movements like sprinting and all that. If you look at the way Usain Bolt, the world record holder over 100 meters and 200 meters, how he used to train, he would always, as part of the training and performance cycle, he would always take sugar or something sugary just before a race, because that gives you that explosive burst of energy, which sprinters need. If you're a long distance runner, it doesn't really help that much, because you need to sustain your run for a long distance, 10 kilometers, or if you're a marathoner, 30 whatever kilometers. In that case, fat can be a more efficient fuel source. Now, the point is this: there seems to be a relationship between cancer cells and sugar. And if you stop eating sugar or carbohydrates, because that's the same thing essentially, then the body has to go into ketosis after let's say 3 or 4 or 5 days. It goes into ketosis. There's no more glucose to burn, and that could essentially possibly starve off cancer cells. And the process of fasting, it is the best way to enter ketosis. Instead of you stopping to eat sugar and carbohydrates and just focus on protein and fat, which could take time, you just stop eating for 3 or 4 days. That will ensure that by the time day 4 is over, your body has entered ketosis. And there are various symptoms that some people experience. Some people have keto flu or whatever. What this process does, if you fast for 4 days, it is believed, I think it's been proven, perhaps, I'm not really sure, you can look it up, that your immune system regenerates itself over this 4-day fasting period, and you enter ketosis. And what also happens is a process called autophagy, which means that all the dead, dying, senescent, damaged cells in the body are all destroyed, and their spare parts are reused for creating new cells. So if you have precancerous cells or maybe even cancerous cells, those could be destroyed, and that's good. So that's why fasting intermittently once in a while was a good thing. But there needs to be more research. I'm not sure if there has been established a clear link between fasting and killing cancer cells. But hopefully you don't have cancer. Hopefully nobody has cancer. And so fasting regularly, maybe once a week or maybe once a month, 3-4 days, that could actually be a great way to ward off the possibility of ever getting cancer. But I think more medical research is needed to conclusively prove this. But it's been part of Indian tradition, fasting, either weekly or once in a month or twice in a month. There's always good reasons for old traditions.